I have been back and forth between my ego, probably, and my conscience and my proposition for what I want to do in this life. And so there was a lot of hesitation to start a video, create a video to introduce myself on social media, but specifically right here, right now, this is for my YouTube channel. When I started my YouTube channel, um, which was not maybe 3, 4 weeks ago, meaning I started actually adding content for others to view on my channel because I have been a YouTube subscriber for years now. I had to ask myself, what is it that I want to put into the world? I think so many of us are bustling with information. We have so much wisdom to share. We have experiences and insights, and there's just breadth and depth of knowledge and wisdom in each of us. For me, a bit of my background, I'll start from childhood. I grew up with a single mother. We didn't have a car. She came from familial abuse, physical abuse, mental, emotional, spiritual abuse. The more information I gather about her upbringing, the more I understand why I had the childhood I had and why I have the struggles I have. And I need that information to make sure that I don't replicate it for my son. So one of my first memories is my mother throwing my sister's belongings out of, I think it was the window. We lived in public housing. I was 4 years old at the time. And I remember looking out the shared bedroom window. My sister and myself shared this room. And I remember seeing her belongings on the very, very tiny patch of lawn and sidewalk in front of our apartment unit. And I remember very specifically, this is an imprinted memory, a one of the encyclopedias that had like the body, um, cellophane pages where you could, see the different nervous system elements and muscles and tissue and bones, etc. And I think right now it's almost hysterical. It's almost hysterical in the sense of that was the issue, right? The nervous system. My mother wasn't safe growing up, so she provided non-safety, danger. And those of us who grow up in danger actually have brains, minds that don't pare down on neurons like other people do. We're more aware and alert. So our mind, as it moves through life, it determines, hey, we need this information, we don't need that information. Now, mind you, everything is imprinted in our minds, in our brains, hardware versus software. That's how you can think of mind versus brain. Brain is the hardware, mind is the software. But there are memories that are stamped into our brains, and they're passed on. They're passed on genetically, they're passed on in utero as an environmental. They're passed on in our environment once we're born, once we discover that there's a life outside of the womb that we're living in, and we're like, okay, I'm ready to come out now. Um, there's we carry a lot that is ours by birthright, but also we didn't necessarily create. It sort of created us. And you can argue any which way about this, and I would be up for it as well, because, time being a man made construct, time always being in flux, maybe we did create all of this too. Anyway, my point being, having grown up in chaos and danger and having to claw my way through the world, having to survive, to get really smart about people and their intentions and their habits and their behaviors and outcomes and being able to predict outcomes. I'm not always right. Absolutely not. The element of love does a number on us. And what I'm looking to bring to this space is just that love. Love in the way that I know how to show it. And love in the way I know how to show it is through teaching those who are wanting or willing people how to be human, what it takes to maintain our physical form, what we need to know about our body, which acts really as an antenna to our outside world and delivers information to our brain, our minds, and then our brain, because our brain stores. I want to apply perspective taking because sometimes we get stuck in this or that thinking when there are truly many, many different portals, pathways, channels, opportunities around us. I want to, wherever I can, for those willing, and I'll learn along the way alongside you. Especially, I'll read the comments. I will make sure to do lives. We'll engage together. But I want to learn just as much as I want to teach how to live an abundant life. Part of my current journey, what I've found out more recently, is that to really love ourselves, means that we stand up for ourselves. We stick up for us. We don't allow ourselves to be bullied. We say no when we mean no, and that's the end of a sentence. We don't allow continuous testing of our boundaries from grown adults, or we allow it. We allow it to pass through, but we take in that data, that information, and we make an analysis of what our next steps, what our next moves are. We learn what ailments we're feeling in our body, our skin, what's going on with our skin, what's going on, our eyes, and how to correct that through nutrition or rest or exercise. It's all of these bits and pieces that we've been given throughout life, but we may not have necessarily witnessed used regularly. So this channel really is just all about being human and how to do it. And granted, we have different missions, visions, and tenets, each as individuals here, right? So If you are someone who is working in manual labor, your nutritional needs, your sleep needs, your life needs are going to differ from someone like me who, yes, I work out, I exercise, but my life tends to be more mind oriented, right? So we may have to feed ourselves differently to sustain such lives. And that's really important to note, not just for ourselves, but for those of us who may have children. And I do have a son, he's 4.5. He's wonderful. I can't even imagine what he's going to do in this life because he's just so smart and sweet. And so I say this because what we do for ourselves, we do for all. Whatever bouncing off point we have, whatever meet up in time we have with somebody, if we're in a poor mood or a great mood or a subdued mood, um, that they reflect that back to us. Mirror neurons. So the best way that we can show up in the world, if we can bring that as often as possible, then we have a better world. And additionally, those of us who are seeking connection, financial advice, emotional security, financial security. I know I already mentioned finances, but we're seeking some form of safety in this world, most of us. I might even dare say all of us. All of us have some semblance of lack inside of us. And this space is the space to help fill those voids with the information, the data that we need to program ourselves in order to seek, find, and get the results that we want in this life. I'm not perfect. I am a work in progress every day, every single day. As you get to know me, you will see my stumbling points. You may see inconsistencies in my speech. You may see areas of opportunity or blank blips in my thought process. That's why we're here. We are here to sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron. We are here to better each other. We are here to help each other progress and to perform and to get the outcomes we want because we are on this, depending on who you ask, it might not be a globe, but regardless, we're on this planet, which is a plane. I don't care what shape we're on right now. I just care that we're here. We're associated. Anything that I do impacts you, and anything that you do impacts me to some degree. We do have ways to protect and preserve ourselves regardless, but we're all in this together. Oh, hashtag central. And we're here to take care of each other. The end goal is to be kind to each other because in externalizing this practice, we learn how to be kind to ourselves. And when we look in the mirror and we're kind to ourselves, then we learn the things to say to other people who are in deep pain and need. So this community, this space is welcoming. I haven't thought out ground rules as of yet, but the first question that I want you to have in your mind before posting any comment is, what is my intention with this comment? Do I have a genuine question? Am I looking to antagonize? Am I looking to belittle? Am I seeking to help someone, to guide them to a more loving space? Now, it's going to be hard when we get people in comment sections who are really angry, right? In the case of the, again, cellophane encyclopedia, their parasympathetic nervous system is kind of on fire, so to speak, just flared, enraged. They're experiencing something that is, increasing the demand for fight, flight, freeze, fawn hormones, and they needed a portal through which to express. That's how we're choosing to view these things. So we're going to approach comments with a lot of curiosity, and we're humans, so we'll make a mess. We will make a mess. It's gonna be messy, but we're going to approach with curiosity. Why would someone say something like that? Truly, why? What might cause that in someone? Oh, well, it might be because XYZ. Okay. How does that feel to live like that? When that person put forth that comment, how was that person feeling? Probably pretty angry and sad and upset and scared and hurt and disgruntled and any number of potential factors, right? So we want to treat people with kindness because we're all suffering and sometimes it just spills out. And when it spills out, if we're met with kindness, we remove some of the shame that we carry. We're just allowed to collapse into love. And so I hope that we can, in the space, find more and more love together. Thank you.